Welcome to today's episode where we sit down with my friend Courtney Eardley. At just 17 years old, Courtney made the Great Britain Taekwondo team, where she toured the world challenging herself and representing her country. We talk about the physical and mental challenges that presents itself when competing at an international level and the physical toll it took on. We dive into her social media mentoring, how she grew her account in just 3 months, and some common mistakes that people make in an attempt to grow theirs, and some strategies on how to grow yours. If you have any guests that you'd love to hear on the show, I'd love to hear them. Drop a comment, send us a message. I'm always open to hearing new stories of different people's journeys in their life. So sit back and I hope you enjoy today's episode. Ready.
Are these on?
Yeah. That bit before, how you said it was no.
We'll cut that up.
Yeah. All right, Courtney, thank you for coming in, the Queen of Taekwondo. Welcome. So I'd love to get a bit of a feel for your Taekwondo journey before we jump into other stuff. You started quite young-ish, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. And then did you start with kickboxing first?
Yeah, so I started with ITF Taekwondo, which is just a different discipline of Taekwondo, but I started when I was 8.
Yeah.
So the rules are slightly different. So what you see in the Olympics is now what I do. So I transitioned into like the Olympic sparring.
Yeah. What's the difference? Like any key big differences?
Differences, one's in the Olympics, one's not.
Yeah.
ITF, for me, I used to do like more point sparring. So you could go in there for a fight and it would be the first point to score and then you would reset and then you would go again, reset. Whereas in the Olympics, it's continuous. You just spar for 2 minutes.
Oh, cool.
You just fight for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's still point scoring, but it's on a system. Yeah.
Yeah. Is the Olympic version more entertaining to watch, do you think?
Yes, and they're trying to make it more entertaining by bringing in new rules so that there's something called a clinch, which is like, I call it a big hug, like when you get close together. But if you're in it for too long, the referee will now stop you. Whereas before, they would allow you to fight in the clinch for a lot longer.
Yeah.
But people were using it as like a break.
Yeah.
So now as soon as it happens, they're kind of like, boom, okay,
Yeah.
fight.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Did you ever used to use it for a break, or is
All
it
the
strategic
time.
fighting? Like, can you win from that position? Or
Definitely I use it as a break, but I think with any sport, if you start getting tired, there is some sort of way you can take a breather. Like
for sure.
Even if you were in a continuous fight, you'd just move around the ring a bit further out. Yeah, it definitely took a break, but you can win points in there. So you could close the distance down by a punch, and then you can kick from close distance. So behind the back of the head, like a scorpion kick, crescent kicks. And if you're flexible, you push out a little bit and kick through the middle up in someone's chin.
That'll get you.
Yeah. See you later. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you see it all the time, like boxing, UFC, they're like hugging against the fence in UFC, and you're like, well, you're both just resting, but
Yeah, and you can
it.
hear the crowd going boo, and I'm like, I know exactly what they're doing. They're like,
gassed. Yeah, I love when it's like a mutual agreement,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
both just sort of like resting. You're like,
and they hear that like, and they're like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool,
it's rest now.
rest.
Yeah.
I need that 2-minute break.
So yeah, started at 8. What age did you think, hang on a minute, I'm pretty good at this? Or did other people see it first? Or?
Yeah, it wasn't me, it was my dad. So we were competing and I was flying to like Italy and going to like these small competitions abroad. But what was happening was I was fighting the same people and just winning medals like quite easily. And then my dad one day was like, we found a club, it's a different style, let's go for it. Turns out he is the junior Great Britain squad like leader, like he coaches them.
The head of that club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we knew that at the time. And then as soon as we went into that club, he was like, you need to go for trials. Like we need to get her into the junior squad. And within like a couple of weeks, from moving clubs, I was already accepted into Great Britain, their junior academy.
Yeah, right.
As a junior.
And that's without even knowing the new format and stuff.
Yeah, I remember my first comp. I didn't even know the rules. And he just was like, go for it. It was the Dutch Open. He's like, just bow and just fight. We'll see what happens. He was like, Chong Hong. And I was like, what does this mean? But he's like, yeah, go for it.
How old were you then?
Oh, I would have been about 16.
Okay, so a little bit old enough to like kind of understand what's happening, but
Yeah. it's the same concept. You're still fighting each other, but I had no idea what like this meant, what this meant, and all these like.
Yeah.
I just nodded. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're like that guy that's there. It's like English is your second language.
Yeah.
You're like,
okay. Yeah.
I fight. Okay.
Can do.
Yeah. And then how did that go? Like, was that a big shock for you? Like, obviously, new tournament, you really didn't know what's happening, but skill level wise, were you like, oh, this is the same? Or was it a step up?
Massive step up, but also it was a funny tournament because I lost. However, the scores kept going 3, 3, 6. Like we were getting headshots and I was like, why? I'm scoring so easily, but my dumbass didn't move my head out of the way. So it was like 1 point, take a hit. But as soon as I learned how to move my head out of the way, I realized, wow, I'm actually really good with my legs.
Yeah.
So it was kind of my coach was obviously saw potential, my first ever comp, and he was like, right, we need to learn how to move your head and you'll be fine. And then, that was it from there.
Game on.
It was like, let's go.
How does a Taekwondo tournament work?
So it's not like obviously UFC, you get paired up with one person. You just train up that camp for fighting that one fight. You have your weight categories, whether that's world weights or Olympic weights. And in my competitions, there was like 50 plus people. So you have the two sides of the draws and then everyone fights each other. And then obviously it gets down to like quarterfinals, semifinals, finals.
Is it elimination, like one loss and you're out?
Yeah, typically one loss and you're out. Some events, we have 2 places for third place, if that makes sense. Yeah. So each side of the draw can have a third place and then you have second and third, first.
Yeah, there's only one second, one first.
Yeah.
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 Interesting. That's a kind of a lot of pressure, right? Because you one loss and you're out. Is it within your fight? Say me and you're fighting, obviously with different gyms, whatever, but is it best of 3 or is it just 10 points, 20 points? Like, how does it work?
So the question you asked about, are they trying to make it more exciting to watch? It used to be just score. So if you lost the first round, you could bring it back in 2 and 3. As long as you had the most amount of points at the end of the third round, you would win. Now it's best of 3. So if you lose the first match, you have to win the second and third. Yeah. Which is encouraging you to go
attack
crazy. You have to be proactive. Yeah.
Which format do you like better?
I like the first one because your first fight of every tournament is usually your worst. And that's the thing.
Dust the cobwebs off.
Yeah. And if you lose, you're out. You've flown to France. You've flown to Spain. You go for one match and then it's like, boom, wasn't my best. Okay, well, now you've lost. You're out. You've just got to sit and wait for the rest of the tournament. Yeah. But you'd have to win for me to stand on podium level at least 4 matches. Yeah. To even get to a third place or even fight for third place.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these are all obviously, there's lower level tournaments, but if you're representing Great Britain, there's obviously the best of the rest, right? You've got the top people from Spain and South Korea and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, everywhere. So they're ranked. So you've got like G1 competitions, which is at the bottom. You've got G2. G6s is what we call a Grand Prix. They hold 6 a year, I believe. And then you've got G10, which is like your Europeans and your World Championships, which you have to get selected for. You can't just turn up to them. And then G12 is the Olympics. Right. So G1 and 2, all of them of which you gain points and it moves you up the ranking system. But yeah, G1s and 2s were like perfect events. Still really good. Like you'd still fight the same people because the people going to the Olympics needed the points too. Yeah. So once you got to a certain level, you were like, oh, I've got old mate again. You were just ready for it.
Yeah. And is that for all the qualifying stuff to get, let's say, take a step back, to get into the Great Britain team? So obviously you went to the development squad, the junior squad or whatever it's called. Is that squad just everyone they see potential in and that you haven't quite made the team yet, or are you in the team in that squad?
Think of that as their junior pathway.
Right.
So you've got foundation level, which you'll know is like club level. And then you'll have your junior level. And from that, I got selected to do like a junior world championship or Europeans. doesn't mean you're like, you've made it. It just means you're in the running of, and as soon as you turn into, well, when you turn 17, you can actually fight as a senior as well as a junior. So they're obviously got eyes on you. And then as soon as you turn like 17, 18, you can like either go apply for or they'll scout you. So I did a trial. So they had like GB trials. There was hundreds of people that turned up, and they selected like 6 girls and 8 guys.
Yeah, and
for
then
their next upcoming.
And you're now in the squad.
Yeah, that's like leaving uni, moving to Manchester, living in a house together, eat, sleep, shit, train, repeat, rinse. Like,
that was my next question, because you're in the team at 17, 18? Yeah. So school's finished. Is school finished then in England?
Yeah, well, you do A-level. So you do school and then college. Yeah. So I was in college.
And so off to Manchester on your own, big bad world.
Yeah.
With the other teammates, but away from mum and dad. Was that a moment for you of, fuck yeah, hang on, like I'm in the Great Britain team, like this is big, or what were you thinking?
Probably shitting myself at the time.
Fair.
To be fair, like the training that you do before then is pretty intense, and it's overwhelming that you probably didn't have time to even think about like how you were feeling. So going from training every day in the evenings after school or college from like 5 till 9 p.m, you would wake up and go train 7 till 9, eat, sleep, go train in the afternoons. And you were so tired, you didn't really think about much else. So
yeah, that's fair. So is that a normal day? So once you're in the team, you're in Manchester, 2 a days, you're doing training?
Yeah, 2, sometimes 3. Some days it would be training and S&C. So we had a strength and conditioning coach that worked with you. Other days it would just be like 2 sessions, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. If you were lucky, you'd have 1 and you'd be like, yeah, this is a good day.
Yeah.
You're taking that rest. But you'd always finish on a Friday, and then you were allowed to go home. So I would drive 1 hour and 15 to get home, spend the weekend with family, Sunday come back. Yeah.
That's good. It's only an hour away.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Australia. Well, you wouldn't be in the team, but you know what I mean.
But some of the team lived like 3 hours drive. So I was really grateful I could just go home. Mum and dad would pick me up, go home, and then, see them for a bit, sleep, and go back.
Yeah. Is that, how did that feel? Like, because you said obviously you're too tired to think about it. Is it, I'm trying to think like the best way to word it. Like, is it what you thought it would be? Like, obviously the first few months, it's like a culture shock of like, oh my God, I'm in this house and I'm in the team. And then after you've been there for a bit, where you're like, oh, I envisioned it being this difficult, or I thought it'd be harder, or...
It was definitely as hard as I thought it would be. But for me, I think the hardest part wasn't the training, it was the nutrition. So the weight making side. I got taken as a 49 kilogram athlete, which is like what you weigh in high school. Yeah. Like a kid weighs that much. So for me to have back-to-back comps, training 4 hours a day, but not fueling your body, it was just draining. Yeah. So that for me was the hardest part. But again, you then get that adrenaline boost when they come to you and they say, we're flying you to here. You're going to go compete. And you're like, oh my God, I've never been there. Like, then that's like that little bit of extra motivation, and you got paid for it. So just as you come to work and you get paid to work 9 to 5, that was my job.
Ah, cool. How much was it?
Not a lot.
Yeah. Enough to live off, save you. I guess you're living in a share house. Is that paid for, that share house?
Share house was paid for.
Yeah.
Any training expenses, we were obviously sponsors would cover kit and stuff like that, but I didn't save, put it that way.
Yeah, like just a little bit of spending money to have some sort of a life.
Yeah, or when you go to these competitions abroad, then that money would just go towards your spending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you're
it's still
in a new
expensive.
country, you want to explore it, and
put it that way. Yeah, I definitely save way more now than I did as an athlete. You weren't allowed to work. It was in the contract. You weren't allowed to work. Yeah.
I mean, some sports don't even get paid.
Yeah.
It's just pretty, I don't know about Britain, but even Australia, some of the sports, especially like even like Olympic sports, you have to go and find your own sponsors and
Taekwondo here, you guys do not get. Like, we are very lucky. It's funded by the lottery over
Oh,
there.
really?
Yeah.
There you go. It's today's fun fact.
Yeah, national lottery. And then when I came here, I've obviously coached a lot of people here as well. One of the girls is in the national team, and just listening to the parents have to like fork out $4,000 just to get to an event. Like, at least I lived in Europe where it was an hour away, a 2 hours flight, you know.
Not 20 hours.
£200, which is like $400. I could compete, fly, come back, spending money. It's $4,000 just to get to some of these comps, and it's not funded.
Yeah, it's wild, hey.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
It's like, it's discouraging because if you can't afford it, you can't do it. You could be a weapon of an athlete. I mean, usually if you're that good, somehow people find the money for you somehow, but it can be discouraging.
Yeah, absolutely. Not everyone's got it within their budget. So, yeah, they're not gaining those ranking points.
Yeah. So in the Great Britain team, tell me if these stats are wrong.
Yeah.
I did some Googling of Courtney.
Yeah.
So 2017, sorry, not 2017, 2015, you were 17-ish. European Championships.
Yeah.
Made the top 8.
European Championships. I'm trying to remember that. That would have been Latvia. European.
Yeah, I didn't write the town down.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to remember. It was so long ago.
Yeah. It was 10 years ago, 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And then you got a bronze in Croatia Open.
Yeah.
And then a bronze in Belgium.
Yeah.
A silver in President's Cup.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
and
Athens.
Then Athens. Yeah. And then World Champs in 2017 where you made it to the top 16.
Yeah. That was Muju, Seoul, Korea.
Yeah, that's right. I did right. I was like, I remember having to go, where's Muju? And then like,
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I've got bad blood with that one.
Yeah. We'll get to that. That's cool, right? Like 17, 18, 19, that's a couple of years there, touring the world. Like you said, it's pretty exciting. You get that little adrenaline kick of, oh, you're in the team, you're going to Seoul, or not Seoul, you're going to Korea. And out of those cities, take away the tournament part, what was your favorite one to visit?
Korea. It's got to be Korea.
Yeah.
So when we went there, we flew into Seoul first, and we trained with the Korean team at one of the universities, and they're weapons. So we did a bit of training first before we then made our way to Muju. And just seeing, like, Taekwondo is a big sport in Korea. Like, we think it's big here and think it's big in the UK, but they actually have it inside of university. It's like netball for them.
Yeah, right.
It's like football. It's like, it's crazy to think that when you're a kid, you just do Taekwondo and martial arts. So it's really cool to see that. And then also like Korean barbecues, actually sitting on the floor, cooking your own foods. Yeah, like bubble tea, all that stuff, you know. I couldn't even have any of it.
No,
I wasn't allowed, but I was like, wow, this is cool.
You still got to experience it.
Yeah.
Do you get much time? I imagine before the tournament, it's probably laser focus on the tournament. But afterwards, do you get much time? Or is it like, okay, tournament finished yesterday, we're off today?
So, might get in trouble for this, but World Championships, we go as a team because you have to be selected. So I was the only 49 kilogram to get selected for that for Great Britain. And you all fight on different days. So I would think I was like either the first or second day. And as soon as I fought, I'm pretty sure my flight was the next day, and I flew by myself. So instead of staying as a team, you're finished, straight back to training. So I remember getting dropped off by someone who spoke Korean, having to try and make my way through the airport as an 18-year-old or something, like stressed out, all the way back from Korea, lay over in France, get back to Manchester all by myself, when I could have just stayed and cheered on my team.
Yeah, that's really weird.
And we could all have flown back together.
It's not like it would have cost that much more to have you in a room for like 4 more days.
Well, the room I was in, there was someone in that room with me for that duration.
A GB athlete?
Yeah, so we all
so it's irrelevant. It costs no more money. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, what? To get me back to training quicker, but there was no one to train with.
Yeah, everyone's away.
We're all there.
And you'd want that camaraderie, right? Like, you know, I haven't played Taekwondo, but in other sports, it's so much better when there's people in your corner cheering for you, and you look in the grandstand, you're like, oh, that's my parents or whatever.
And your team, the people that train with you as well. Like,
that's wild.
That was annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, but you can't say anything. You're just like,
you're a kid.
Off
Well,
you
they don't
go.
listen to you. You're 18-year-old. Yeah, right. What about, is there any of those tournaments for you that were awesome?
Yeah, President's Cup.
Yeah.
I think.
Why was that one awesome?
President's Cup for me was the first time I did 49 kilograms, which I made the weight pretty easily. Like I was in bin bags playing rummy cub outside in the sun. Did my weigh in. I was like, oh, that wasn't too bad. I was definitely dying, don't get me wrong, but I've definitely been in worse places. But that tournament was 7 a.m. start, and I didn't finish till like after 11 p.m. And went in, beat the first girl, then had Russia. And my coach was like, oh, do you know who she is? I was like, no, I don't care. Top six in Russia, beat her, move on, next person. Another chick from Russia. Then it was semi-finals, but I felt so good. Like I felt strong.
Yeah.
I was having gels, my nutritionist was there. And it was funny because every time I won, the director of GB was there. So every time I won, he would then give me more support. He would be like, do you need anything? Do you need anything? Do you want a massage? Like, I was like, where were you? And like, all of a sudden you're here.
Now you're a winner.
Yeah. I was like, yes. And I think because of that silver medal in that category, that's when they were like, 49s.
Yeah.
I think that was like the eye opener. A lot of these girls were like top 6 in the world. Some of them are still competing now and they're really good.
And so what weight were you before that?
I was fighting 53s.
Yeah, okay. So, some people may not know, with Taekwondo, you've got the weight classes.
Yeah.
They're very specific. Like in boxing and stuff, they seem to be a bigger range.
Yeah.
It's like it's every 3 kilos is a different class, right? Or close enough.
So in Taekwondo, you've got world weights and you've got Olympic weights. So Olympic weights is your most important. So 49, 57s, 67, big jumps.
Yeah.
But within those weights, like in between, you've got like 53s, 62s. You can fight at those weights and gain points for your Olympic weight.
Right.
So this is why I'm pissed off, because I could have fought for 53s, gained all of the points for 49s and only done the important competitions and cut that weight.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So you can be a little bit over, you can be 52 kilos.
Yeah.
And get all your points for the under 49s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. How big of a difference is, take away the mental part and like the feeling, but as an athlete, so say you're both the same freshness.
Yeah.
How big of a deal is those 3 kilos? Can it win you and lose you a fight or not?
It's not necessarily the weight, it's the height. So the reason I would cut down to 49s is because I have the world's, I've got the world's longest legs. Yeah. So having like 3 inches, not 3 kilos, but 3 inches,
okay,
that could be a headshot versus not a headshot.
Because most women would be shorter in that category because they're way
49s
less.
is like, you could be 5 foot and weigh 49 kilos.
Whereas what are you?
I'm 5'7", 5'8", and I'm 60 kilos now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 11 kilos difference.
Less. At the same height, I'm still 172 centimeters. I haven't changed.
Yeah.
I know my weight to my height.
Yeah, okay. I actually forgot to ask this earlier, but what does make a good Taekwondo athlete? So reach is obviously a big one.
Yeah.
Agility, speed.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a lot. Agility, speed, flexibility, hand-eye coordination, being able to stand on one leg, kick, and not fall over while scoring and blocking. Like, there's so many components. And just mentally, like, you've got to have determination. Like, for the weight side of things as well, that's the hardest. But then getting into the ring, you've got 2 minutes. Like you say, if you don't win that fight, you're out of that comp.
Yeah.
So you've got to go in there.
It's
game
all
on.
in all the time.
Yeah, it's all or non-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with making weight and stuff, it seems so contradictory that you're at an elite level. And this is with like how you see it in UFC and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Any combat sport that has a weight, basically, you're trying to train at this insane elite level, but then you don't get to eat, basically.
Yep.
It clearly affects your training, right? Or are you just so determined that you kind of grin and bear it?
You definitely are affected. You could tell who was cutting weight when they came to training and who wasn't, because you'd have like this phase, or you'd be like, "Hey guys, let's train today." It's like you could definitely.
You just ate
tell.
carbs, or you didn't just eat carbs?
Yeah, you're eating breakfast. I'm watching you eat breakfast. Like, it's a massive, massive difference for me. Even now, like when I fuel for a session, I'm like, wow, that's what it feels like. It's crazy. Like I used to eat less than 1,200 calories and train for 4 hours a day.
Yeah, that's what you should be eating just for those 4 hours.
Yeah, or as a child, just doing nothing.
Yeah. It's tough, right? Because the nutritionist job is to get you there, but they're also doing it. Dangerous is the wrong word, but it's not ideal. Yeah. But that's their job, to get you to make weight.
Yeah.
So it's like this conundrum.
We had like a multidisciplinary team. So I had like a psych and physio. I definitely saw physio a lot, but the nutritionist became my psychologist. Tom, his name was Tom. He used to work for Manchester United, and I'm still really good friends with him now, to the point where I'm, maybe I can catch up with him in the UK soon, like later this year. But we would just talk things through. I'd come in and just be like, I don't feel good. Like, I don't think I'm going to make weight, or I'm really worried about making weight for this comp. And he was really good at his job. Like, he really understood you as well, because he knows, he's like, you should be eating more, but you can't.
Yeah.
Like, we have to get you to this, but we'll do it in a safe way. As safe as possible.
Yeah.
But in his head, he's like, yes, I would love for you to eat 2,500 minimum. But he's like, we can't do that right now. You've got this comp coming up.
And then if you don't make weight, are you automatically disqualified? Or so is the weigh-in like the day of the tournament, the day before? Can you carb load after and stuff?
So when I was competing, you could usually weigh in the day before. A lot of people do it the night before. And then, you'd have like a decent meal and then go in the next day. But they brought out a 5% rule. So they would, on the day, they would take a handful of people randomly and then re-weigh you. So it's actually prolonging your weight cut. So I actually wrote a thesis about this. So those like 24 hours extra or 12 hours extra is so detrimental to your health. So you'd be careful, because you knew, like if I was doing 49, I could drink 2 liters and be 2 kilos heavier.
That's what I was going to say. Like water,
so you can't even
you can't
even hydrate yourself properly. So you'd have to be really strategic with it.
That's a nightmare. It's weird because they're making these rule changes to make the sport more exciting. And I understand there's got to be weight limits to an extent. Like you don't want an 80 kilo person against a 50 kilo person. Like it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems so contradictory, because even water is obviously, it's still weight, but you need water to survive and rehydrate and
So they brought that out in hopes that people that couldn't make that weight easily would move up.
Yeah.
Because those extra 12 hours would have been unbearable. The problem was we all just did the extra 12 hours.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, cool. Like, just in case.
And does that affect your fights?
Yeah.
I imagine it would, because you'd
think about
brain dead.
Yeah, being so dehydrated, and then you go into your fight. You can't just drink loads, because then you'd be heavy and full and like groggy. So you're going in dehydrated, and that's like the biggest killer of performance is dehydration.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I remember even similar in terms of making weight, but you don't have to fight, like bodybuilding shows.
Yeah.
Same thing. You're watching all your water.
Yeah.
It's like, 9 a.m. You can't drink water till 9 a.m., but you're up at 4. You can have some crackers.
Yeah.
I only sip water. You're like, I can't handle this shit. I'm so angry. I'm so tired. I'm so grumpy. I couldn't imagine trying to do a fight where it's full throttle at a national level.
Yeah, you just got to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a way to train for that? Like, you know how like you can sort of train under fatigue because you get used to fighting under fatigue. Is it like while you're making weight for comps, are you sort of so used to being exhausted while you're training it, you kind of used to it, or you just never get used to it?
Oh, I think you just got used to that feeling. The problem is, like I said it earlier, is now I'm struggling with so many women's gut health issues that I think have come from the weight making.
I could imagine.
So cutting out carbs is the big thing, cutting out your glycogen. But imagine you've got back-to-back comps, then your body's not having any carbs. So I was pretty much learning how to fight in ketosis.
Yeah,
so
it's not ideal.
Now when I eat carbs, I think my body literally panics and it's like, what is this? Like, you used to train 4 hours a day with 0 carbs. Why are you now eating 300 a day? You don't need that much, and my body's going crazy.
Yeah, that's it. I had this question somewhere down here about like high performance comes at a cost, and every sport is different. Boxing or Taekwondo, like, boxing, you've got the whole concussion thing down the road and stuff like Taekwondo, probably similar. Do you have headgear in Taekwondo?
Yeah, you do. But if you're getting kicked, you
still hurt.
Yeah. We had to do this concussion test, and they were like, they obviously do before and after, and they were like, oh, tell me the alphabet backwards. I was like, I can't do that sober.
Yeah.
I'm concussed already. Like, it's like, I can't
Next
do
question.
that. Next. Yeah, the amount of knockouts was insane.
Yeah. It's like,
still.
Yeah, every sport's different, whether it's traveling away from your friends and your family, or in your case, it's fucking up your body from making weight and stuff like that. And maybe the psychological stress and stuff as well that you carry with it. Do you ever think it's worth it sometimes?
It's definitely worth it. I wish what they had was education at the time. Because when you don't have that knowledge, you think what you're doing is the right thing to do. Whereas now that I've learned, I wish that someone had taught me that when I was doing it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the girls that come to me and they want a weight cut, I'm like, no, you're not even 16. Your body's not even finished doing what it needs to do. There's no way you're cutting weight now. But back then you were just like, oh, it's so normal. Like, you're getting paid for it. So
Do you know anybody that's in the GBR system, or is it similar? I assume even in the Australian system it would be the same, right? Like, they've all got to make weight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is it the same mentality, or has it evolved a bit now? Because sport has changed a lot in some aspects.
It'll never change completely. Like, it'll always be a weight making sport. You can't have 60 versus 70.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not fair. It'll always be the same in terms of the weight making, but I think there's a lot more education around it because people like me are speaking up. So as soon as I left the academy, I spoke about something called amenorrhea. It's where you just don't have a period. And if you think about runners, jockeys, gymnasts, they all go through it because their fat mass percentage is so low that their body just panics, and it's like, all right, well, you can't be a woman, you can't do what you need to do. But the problem was, back then, they were like, that's fine, that's normal, it happens, long distance runners, it's so normal. I'm like, it's not normal. Like, it's common in the sport when you drop to a certain weight, but it's not normal. Don't make me sound like this is because now I'm struggling with it now, and that's 7 years later. So,
because it is, normal's the wrong word, because it's like, it does happen to high level athletes, but it's still not the normal thing to happen. You're supposed to get it. It's
a way of your body saying, I'm not okay.
I'm stressed as fuck.
Yeah, my body is so stressed out. I can't even do what I'm supposed to do monthly for you. And it's like, I remember talking to the doctor, haven't had one. He's like, don't worry, come back in 3 months. Came back in 3 months, didn't have one. No worries. I'm like, I'm worried. That's why I'm back. 6 months later, a year later, 6 years later, I now struggle still. So that's why if a woman comes to me, even men, I'm like, do not cut and be stupid with your weight. Like, it's so, like, you can really fuck up some stuff.
I guess the difference, now is kind of what you're saying, right? Weight's always going to be there and it has to be there, of course.
Yeah.
But instead of forcing you to do 49, we'll put you in the 53 or whatever the next one up is.
Yeah. I think what Great Britain are now doing, which is great to see, is when they bring juniors, they don't bring a junior and stunt their growth. They bring a junior, train them and allow them to grow as an adult and see where their body is naturally sitting with the training. Not, I got taken in as a 49 athlete, whereas some people got taken in, they were like 10 kilos heavier, but they got taken in 10 kilos lighter for a specific weight. Now it's like, okay, you're 17, let's just follow you, let's train you up, let's see where you are in 2 years' time.
Yeah, when you actually mature.
Yeah, like your body. And a lot of the women that I know that were in the academy 16, 17, 18, and now some of them are overweight.
Yeah.
But it's not their fault. It's because their hormones have been so messed up. Now they could be eating 2,000 calories but be gaining weight. That's what your body does. It shuts down. It panics and it holds on to fat stores, whatever you eat.
Plus they'd have a horrible relationship with food, I'm guessing, from all that stuff.
Yeah, you could never get that back. I can't get that back.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, it sucks. I like food.
Yeah, who doesn't? Food is so good. After Korea, did you, because that was your last international one, your last like GBR fight?
Big fight.
Big
yeah,
fight.
Yeah.
Were you done after that, or were you not in the team anymore, or like what was the vibe there?
You have like monthly meetings, and I definitely did a couple of comps I think after that, but they weren't like being selected. And then when I had my monthly meeting, I got released from the academy due to medical reasons. Yeah. So all of the things I was highlighting, they came to the surface pretty much and were like, well, we're going to release you. It's got, like we think you're really good and your performance, but it's unsafe for you to keep. And so instead of moving me up a weight category.
I was going to say, why can't they just push you up? Yeah. Noted. Okay.
Instead of, I don't regret like being released though. I just copped it, took it on the chin. I was like, everything happens for a reason. I wouldn't be here today if I was still in the academy. You have no idea. But yeah, they could have just taken me, but they released me due to medical reasons. And that's when, I just started the journey of, I guess, living the normal life.
Yeah,
which is hard to transition into.
Because you went from 16, 17 or whatever it is, straight into let's do some elite level shit. Yeah. And you didn't do anything else. Like you wouldn't have drank, you wouldn't have.
No. I was at uni at the time.
Oh, you were studying?
I started uni and they said, uni told me if I left, I probably would fail my exams. So I said, yeah, no worries, left. Went and did Taekwondo anyway. And then I just turned up for my exams in first year. I didn't go to uni. I didn't go to the lectures.
Yeah, right.
I was an athlete.
It was all online learning basically before it was a thing.
Yeah, so imagine that I was going to all these comps and then have to whilst I was absolutely dying.
Yeah.
And it's, still smashed all of my friends at uni because they were at uni drinking. Whereas I was competing and then just turned up for my exams at the end of the year.
Yeah, 2 different kinds of brain damage.
Yeah.
And then when did you move to Oz? I can't remember the year.
That would have been, what was the year before COVID? 2019.
It was just before COVID, 2019.
Yeah.
Why Australia?
I met a friend called Josh in second year. I didn't see him in first year. And I was like, where were you, bro? He's like, oh, I took a gap year in Australia. And I asked him how he was, and he said it was the best year of his life. And when I finished my degree, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a master's in nutrition or not. And then for some reason, I started looking at au pair jobs. And one just popped up in Fairfield. And I was like, oh, this seems really cool. Why not go to Australia for a year, see what it's like? As soon as I got here, I was like, I'm staying.
Yeah, you're like, I get it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the sun? This is great. Yeah, and that's obviously when I met you guys was back in 2019.
Top British answer, always sun.
Wow, this is why you guys are happy.
And it's, do you know, it's something that I always forget about because we get it all the time. Like even winter now, it's 20 degrees in the middle of winter and sunny and beautiful.
It's a beautiful day.
This is an English summer day, basically.
Yeah, this is like my dad in the garden with his top off like, oh, Michelle, this is wonderful.
Yeah. And we're like, oh, it's cold.
I've got 3 layers.
Yeah. Yeah, and it would be, especially in winter, right? It's like sunny from 11 till 2 or something, right? Some short ass time.
Yeah, it's really hard to be productive there. Depression levels are like super high, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The land of the great Australia. So obviously you became one of us. You got your, is it PR or are you?
No, I wish. No, I'm still visa hopping.
Are you still, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Didn't you do your farm work or was that part of the visa stuff?
That's just part of the, that was part of the visa that I could go on to next.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
And what did you do? I can't remember. What did you do farm work or did you nanny instead?
No, I did farm work. Oh my God.
How was that?
I did zucchini packing. It's the worst.
Surprised
you didn't hear about it from Matt, to be fair.
No, I couldn't remember because I've had so many members and stuff that have done it as well. And there's been a few that have gotten lucky and their like farm work is babysitting.
Yeah, in a rural area.
I
did not do that.
Yeah, for some reason I thought you did that. Okay, so you did the proper packing zucchinis.
Oh yeah.
Is it a nightmare?
It was awful. I remember crying for 88 days solid. Oof. Like I feel for
What made it awful?
They're usually run by families. Like these are family run organizations and they're just not happy. I don't think I've met any farmer that is happy. Yeah, it was... her name was Karen, but she was actually a Karen. I remember getting threatened. Like, we would get threatened. They were like, one day we turned up, she's like, if you guys don't pack faster, I'm going to bury you all in the paddock. And I was like, people know I'm here.
Way to be motivating.
Yeah, woo, can't wait to get going. One day I was asking if we could have the radio on because we worked for 8 hours. And she just laughed in my face and then didn't turn the radio on. Like, you're a narcissist.
I don't get it. Like wouldn't you be more, I don't know, and choose any word, kind, fair, whatever, and then the employees will be happier and then we would want to go to,
I remember turning up one day and I was like, I'm going to pack the slowest my hands would possibly move.
Yeah. Because you're like, fuck you.
Yeah. I'm like, one. Oh, no, my nails got into that one. Oh, throw that one away. Oh, next.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was just crazy. And listening... Even more so, the pickers were all Asians and they treated them like shit. Like, because it wasn't their first language, they would, like, we can understand when you're being rude.
Yeah, you get tone and stuff.
Yeah, but because of the language barrier, even I was like, you can't speak to people like that. I don't care where they're from and what job they're doing. Like, that is so wrong. And you're taking advantage of someone that's coming here to just have a good time. Like, we have to do this to legally stay in the country.
Because you do that and then is it 2-year visa after that or whatever it's called?
Yeah, you could apply for your second year.
Oh, so one more year really?
Well, technically 9 months if you think about it. You sacrifice 3 to get 9.
Do you think that's a fair system if the farm work was better people? Or because it kind of weeds out people who aren't committed, but then also it sounds like shit. Like,
it's just
barely
slave
anyone has
work.
a good time. Yeah. Like legal slave, because you get paid, but it's cheap, right?
It really, that depends on the farm.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Some farms could be really nice, pay you, put you up for board, food, travel. Some is like, you get paid by the bucket. And if there's nothing to pick on the day.
No money for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you think about being in a field, picking strawberries for 8 hours a day, it's hard work. Yeah. Or whatever it might be.
Yeah, whatever. Insert fruit or vegetable.
Yeah, into bucket. Yeah, or punnet, like, honestly. Yeah, it was a joke. Right.
Did you learn anything from it? Like, did it make you go, I've got it all right? Or were you just, fuck this, I want to get out of here?
I had a calendar of 88 days written out and I would literally be like, 1, you can do this.
It's like jail.
2.
Yeah, okay.
You're like 88, it's getting closer. Then that last week you were like, don't fuck it up. Like,
we're almost
so
there.
ready. Yeah. Yeah, and at the time, obviously, I was with Matt. So it was even harder because he was just like, you got this. And I was like, I want to
Can't do anything. Home. Yeah.
This is so... but to be fair, because of COVID, everything was closed. So even if
Did you do it during COVID?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the whole reason. So if I'd have come back, we were in lockdown anyway.
Yeah.
That was when everything first closed.
Watching TV
with
so us.
Would have been nicer than picking stuff.
Yeah.
But it was the perfect time to do the worst job, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whilst everything was
You're not
shut,
missing anything. There's no fun things on.
Yeah. I couldn't get funding from the government. You guys stopped work and got paid. Whereas I couldn't get any of that. So if I wasn't doing the farm work, I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have had an extra visa.
Yeah.
So it was like, that's why I was like, you're doing this for a reason. Suck this one up.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to look at the bigger picture at the end.
Yeah. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, like with everything. Yeah.
At least you know you can, I mean, you already know that from Taekwondo days, but like you can grind it out.
Oh, I'm a good grinder.
Yeah.
I was a good worker on good, you know, if she spoke to me nicely, I'll pack very neatly.
It'll be the neatest packet of zucchinis you've ever got.
I called it Willy packing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Mum was big ones today. It was little ones, mild. This one was a bit of a funny shape, but you know.
I can imagine the amount of Willy jokes it would have been.
Yeah, can't fault this guy, poor thing. Yeah.
Nice. And then what made you, because you obviously took a break from Taekwondo for a while. What made you get back into it?
I think just kind of the pressure, I think, got me. Like when you've been at such a high level to then go back into recreational, that one, there's eyes on you. Two, you've automatically got this like, oh, she should be really good. When you've taken time out to just be a normal individual at uni and maybe go out drinking and have some fun. Also with the weight stuff as well, like you were mentally getting over something else, being in a new country where you probably don't have money, don't know where to go. It was a lot of like components, I think. So getting back into it, I felt ready. And even now, like I'm probably ready for a fight.
Yeah.
If that makes
you got
sense.
the itch, like
I've got, yeah.
the desire went away, took some time, Courtney time.
Yeah,
got a
you
few
have
ducks
to.
in a row and you're like, oh, I've got itchy feet again. I'm ready to. Yeah.
I was really nervous, actually. I remember doing a fight in Poland. I did 57s and I was shitting myself. I've never been more nervous because it was a weight class that I've never done before. It was my natural weight and it was like a year out. So I just felt so unprepared. But it was like a really big thing just to get back in the ring. And everyone was like, hey, how are you? And it's like, it was so overwhelming.
How did it go?
Yeah, I lost. But for me, it was more just getting in the ring was such an accomplishment that I was like, that's good. Like I needed that.
Yeah.
Just to put myself in that uncomfortable
like a rebound
position.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Party.
Now that you can drink.
Yeah. Take that, Scales.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so you're back into Taekwondo in Oz now. I've seen you were in Thailand for 6 months.
Yeah.
What was the main purpose of that? Because I saw you went to a few sweet camps, like George St. Pierre. Was that one of them?
There was so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went over there with a family as an au pair to help the daughter with Muay Thai. And then we fell in love with Bang Tao Muay Thai MMA in Bang Tao. And that's when I met my partner at the time. So I moved there for 6 months, but those 6 months it's just jam-packed. So we had George St. Pierre was there, Volko, John Jones, Craig Jones. Like there was so many amazing athletes there. Like, yeah, there's always something happening.
Is that because that particular gym is like it's a good gym?
It's an amazing gym. If you're an MMA fighter, Muay Thai fighter, they've got boxing, they've got jiu-jitsu, and all of the coaches are such high-level coaches. So what you see, like when you see Volko fighting, like you've got George and Frank, the Hickman brothers, they coach at Bang Tao Muay Thai MMA. So what you see is like very elite level.
Yeah. And are they coaching Muay Thai? Because obviously you got different disciplines.
Yeah.
Like, because I know obviously like say UFC, they want to learn Muay Thai and they want to learn this and they want to learn that. Or are they, is everyone going there for different disciplines?
Some people go there for a holiday. They'll just dive into everything. I want to just upskill. So I was like, do Muay Thai one day. The Muay Thai fighters or the trainers are fully like Thais. They train like weapons. That's like a different style of training.
They're animals. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
We've got I think it's like Welsh coaches for the boxing. But George and Frank do the MMA, wrestling, and then Alex does jiu-jitsu. But yeah, UFC fighters will typically just stick to like wrestling, MMA, pads techniques, PTs. They won't they won't go do Muay Thai.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it's all within the one facility. This place is massive. It's like a jungle. It's great.
That's awesome. Were you there with just you and the daughter and then like kind of supervising her, or was the whole family there?
Just the dad.
Just
so
the
the
dad.
first couple of times we went for 2 weeks. That was training. Like, that was hectic. Then we went in December for like a holiday and training for 3 weeks. And then after that, because of the visa situation, I either stayed here or I went and moved to Thailand at the time. So I was like, oh, let's do this. Like, I'll go live with my partner. We'll see how things go with like actually living in Thailand and training full time. Really good experience. But yeah, I love Australia. So hence why I'm back.
Yeah. How do you think you upskilled a lot while you were there? Yeah. In what sense?
Like, I'm great with my legs, obviously coming from Taekwondo for many years, but learning how to move your body and defend yourselves in different disciplines, like how to not get choked out is very different to how to not get kicked.
Yeah.
And then when you train with the Muay Thai fighters, like it's just you learn so much from each discipline. For me, it's like as a fighter, you have a resume. And if you can learn how to do different disciplines, you're just adding to that. To that resume, sure. And it's so much fun.
And the bigger your resume, your ability to get out of any situation increases.
Yeah.
For all a different amount of situations.
Yeah, well, if you think of like the UFC, you've got striking, you've got wrestling, you've got the takedowns, you've then got grappling, ground and pound. Like you have to be good at all of it. You can't just rely on being really good at striking, because as soon as you get taken down, you're gonna get screwed.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
it's always interesting watching a fight between a BJJ, like a wrestler, versus a striker.
Yeah.
And then the striker gets on the ground, you're like, oh,
it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. Are you thinking about doing any fights soon, tournaments soon?
Definitely this year.
Nice.
Like, I've definitely got the itch for it. My coach and I, we've been talking about looking at maybe like an MMA fight.
Fun.
Nothing like promised, but
yeah, just toying with the idea.
Yeah. I did a charity boxing event in Australia, actually, Fight for a Cause, and just having a goal, even if it was for charity, it was just really fun.
Yeah.
So whether that's like I go and do a kickboxing event, K1, or even a jiu-jitsu tournament, like, what have you got to lose? Like, you haven't.
Yeah.
So why not?
So these are all just sort of entry-level tournaments.
God.
Fuck around and find out, just see what happens. And
just get in there. Even the weight cutting side of things, I probably would just see what the weight classes are, but I'm not going to be like, oh, let's cut 5 kilos. No way. I'll go in
You can lose
healthy.
1 or 2 kilos. Like, that's not hard for a cut, but you're not dropping 5.
Yeah, I'll cut a couple of 100 calories and water.
Yeah,
and then I'm done.
Yeah.
No intense weight cuts.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, more for...
just enjoyment.
Not for fun, but like fun in a way. Like focus, have a goal.
Yeah, purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely have found my purpose, and that is fighting. It's martial arts.
Yeah.
So having a little goal would be great.
Is MMA probably the top one that you want to try? Like, as you said, you tried boxing.
Yeah, I don't like boxing.
Nah, because you can't
I
use
like
your legs.
my feet. Yeah. If I panic, I'm like, my feet are itching.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah, that was hard.
How's your striking? Yeah, because your arms are like, you have good reach as well.
Yeah, but when I did the boxing event, I was so new to boxing. Whereas now it's like, I'd be way more confident if I just had my hands.
Yeah.
But I think kickboxing for me, just to get back in the ring, would allow me to use my hands and my feet. MMA, I've got like this weird, like, I want to do it, but I know that could be quite silly right now.
Yeah.
Depending on the level of
wrestling.
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but I think I would need to learn more submissions. I'm really good at not getting choked out.
Okay, that's good.
But I wouldn't, I'd struggle sometimes in situations where I'm like, oh, you probably could make this person tap.
Could have finished it here.
But you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably rushing into...
Yeah, MMA is so complicated because, it's not just striking. It's not just kicking. It's not just boxing. It's like wrestling.
But it's so exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Because obviously there were some big guns in Thailand. Did you get to spend much time with them one-on-one or in group settings, or you just kind of around them? Like, did you learn anything from them?
Oh, I learned tons. So I was really grateful because when the guys like Volko and that were there, they came and taught lessons.
Sick.
Yeah, they did seminars. So we would jump in like to the seminars, which were like 2 hours long. So imagine you're just taking from absolute legends, like stuff that works for them. Yes, it definitely learned a lot. But being in that close knit, like I met Alex on a more personal level. Like John Jones, like, was helping him with like his water and his nutrition, whatever it would, like rather than just being someone there, like, cause I was closer to the gym.
Yeah. Cause you're there a while, right?
Yeah.
You can't become like a resident.
Yeah. So I would do this thing called like a Would You Trust Me series. I don't know if you've seen it, but
kicking the bottle off the head.
Yeah, stuff like that. So like my strength is leg control. Like I'm a front leg fighter. So anyone that John Jones, for example, I would kick over their head, but I would randomly just go up to them and be like, hey, do you trust me? Like, can we get this on camera? Won't tell them and just be like, or I show them and they're like, yeah, you can. Did it with Craig Jones, St. Pierre. Like, it was just so good.
Because some of those boys would have similar flexibility, but just not the speed and agility that you have, or not?
No.
Oh, they don't?
No.
I was thinking, like, especially like George would have had the flexibility, but they don't really kick that high and stuff.
Back when he was competing, yes.
Probably, yeah. Not
right now, no.
Yeah.
And most of the boys, they're over 6 foot. Like John
Yeah.
Jones is massive. Like they're all taller than me. Craig Jones is definitely at 6 foot. So, yeah.
Yeah. That kind of leads me into one of the questions I wanted to ask. Because obviously on your socials and stuff, you've got you doing like your moves, especially the kicking ones. I obviously look at them and go, fuck, that's impressive. Like, that's so cool. Rah, rah, rah. For other athletes at a similar level, can they do that, or are you a bit above that? Like, is it common to be able to do that, or is that like your specialty?
In like recreational level, like club level, or?
Let's say both. Club level, I'm assuming no.
Depends on what fighter.
Okay.
Everyone in Taekwondo will have like their strengths. My leg control has always been my point of difference. But anyone that is a black belt or above at like national level should be able to do that.
Right.
They should be able to hold their leg up and do multiple kicks without putting it down. It's the type of training that you go through. Club level, some people will be able to do that. Yeah. But with the control, there'll be a different level of control.
Yeah. Like you could do it but fumble through it, and then whereas you can do it with precision control.
But you could do some of the stuff. It just wouldn't look as fluent.
Yeah.
But you could, the thing is you could do it.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
So some people make it look effortless.
Yeah.
And like are not flying everywhere, but some people would be able to do it with just a little bit more difficulty.
Yeah. It's kind of like playing soccer. Everyone can play soccer, but playing it at the level of like EPL players, they make it look easy, and it's pinpoint passing and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do it with their eyes closed.
Yeah. Whereas I'm like, maybe I can get my leg that high.
Yeah.
Do you do much one-on-one Taekwondo coaching?
I used to. Not necessarily now. I've definitely moved more into like the social media stuff, but I love coaching, and I think I prefer the one-on-one as well, because I like giving people like 110% of what I know directly to them. I think people get more out of that than a group environment.
Yeah. And it feels good to mentor someone, like watching them like, I taught them this, or I guided them on this, and seeing them grow into an athlete, or if you're getting the girls young at 15, 16, seeing them get to 18, 19 and like learning all the skill sets and stuff.
Yeah. Amali, one of my like clients, she's 13. She's flying all over the world now. Cool. For like fighting for Australia. So I'm watching her and like, I feel like a mum. Or like a big sister.
Mums.
Yeah. I'm like, oh no, we don't talk all the time, but I'm constantly in touch with the parents, just being like, how's things? What is she up to? They'll send me her fights. Like I'll analyze her fights, and watching her, like I think I see a bit of me in her. But yeah, when I was training her and then watched her compete, I was like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like halfway between big sister and a mum.
Yeah. Big sister, where I'm like,
want to protect them,
get in there. But mum's like, okay, let's not do that.
Yeah.
No weight cuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got the socials cranking now. Your TikTok, Insta, YouTube, all that sort of jazz. Because you never, your socials never used to be as big.
Yeah.
Did they get big along the way? And along the way, you were kind of like, oh, I'm actually pretty good at this. Like, maybe I can do something with this. And you learn a lot about how to, I guess, manage socials, or is it something you've changed recently?
No, I used to work for Ladbrokes, obviously a couple of years ago, and I'd be sat with a headset on at 4 a.m. being like, hey, it's Courtney from Ladbrokes, how are you? Like, and one day I was like, I can't do this. Like, this sucks so bad. So I started researching like coaches and, okay, I knew I wanted to do something with my Instagram, but I had no idea what it looked like. I knew Taekwondo was what we call a niche nowadays. Again, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I was just posting. I paid for a coach, really expensive, didn't like the way he taught the courses. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to post a reel a day for 30 days. I made it like almost like a 75 hard.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I was waking up at 2 a.m., different times to post, just to trial and error. As soon as I started posting tutorials, which was how to teach people, it blew up. It still took a month, but after that month, I grew from 30,000 to over 130,000 in like 3 months. But along the way, I was writing notes. I was like, what's working? What's not working? What audio am I using? Why are people commenting but not liking? And like all of that stuff until December this year, or last year. Went home for Christmas and all the mums were like, wow, like, your socials are really big. How did you do that? Next minute, I'm teaching a seminar to all of these women how to change your bio, how to optimize your search engine. And they're all like, oh, this
proper
is
basics.
Yeah. How to change your account from a creator to a business or a business to a creator. And from that point, I was like, all of these questions, I was like, I can answer these in a program.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I've got 20 women all telling me the same thing, the same problem. I was like, I will help you. And I took it from there. I just got clients, worked with them for free, then started paying for the services. And now I run the 8-week program. So, and I love it. Working one-on-one.
Social media sensei program.
Yeah, it's good.
I was like, nice name.
Yeah. If you understand martial arts, it's like, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to be a black belt in social media? I'm your master.
Yeah. And then kick the phone off the head.
yeah. These are the 3 tips. Yeah,
nice. And so obviously you developed that course for those kind of people. Do you find, so you said when you did tutorials, you got a lot more engagement.
Yeah.
Is that still the case now for you specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it will be the case for everyone else in their niche. The reason being, it's the more value you can add to someone's life, the higher the percentage of like them to convert into a follower.
Yeah.
So I have a video that's gone viral. It's got like 13 million views, but I only gained 500 followers from it. Another video that is a tutorial has got 500,000 and I gained way more followers from that. Yeah. Reason being is I'm giving you something. You're learning from me. Whereas the other one is just funny. So I gave you a smile.
Yeah.
And you were
like it and then
share this with a friend.
Yeah.
Obviously the views are like insane, but I'm not really teaching you anything. So if you can add value to anyone, then you're more likely to convert them as a follower.
Yeah. And everyone wants, we are in an age now where everyone wants stuff for free.
Yeah.
Or they want more value for money. And so the internet obviously is the best place to find free things.
Yeah, it's your biggest search engine.
Yeah. So if you can offer tutorials on that sort of stuff, like you're not really giving away anything in a sense that like it's not costing you money.
Yeah.
Like some people think, oh, if I tell people how to do the front kick, they're not going to get me as a PT. It's like, well, you can show them on the internet versus you showing them in person. Like it's a whole different thing. Yeah,
massive. I think, a lot of people have that, especially in Australia, like the tall poppy syndrome. Big time. Like, I want to hold my secrets. Actually, go and share your secrets and validate if they're a good idea or not. If people come back to you with like, yes, or tell me more, then you should be taking the idea to the next level. But if you keep it inside, then you're limiting your own potential.
Yeah.
Go and show people. No one will ever kick like me. I can teach you how to kick like me, but you won't be me.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't be you, and I can't PT like you. There's thousands of PTs, but it's how you come across. That's why people work with certain people.
For sure.
So,
I can't remember what year it was when I was doing my strength, like my high level strength conditioning stuff. Our teacher was like the strength coach for one of the New Zealand rugby teams. Every year he would send his conditioning program to all the other New Zealand rugby teams.
Oh, cool.
Because at that phase, they'd won like 5 years in a row. They were just dominant.
Yeah.
And so he's like, this is what I'm doing. And then people in our course were like, oh, but he's giving away what he's doing. And he's like, yeah, but no one can do it like him. Yeah. They can read what they're doing, but getting the best out of your athletes or knowing how to implement that is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was like, oh, imagine the level of confidence to just send all your competitors exactly what you're doing. You're like, good luck, you can't do it like me.
Well, that's what social media is. It's a trend. You find a trend. It doesn't matter what niche it's in, but if you can take that and then put your own twist on it, then you'll do well.
Yeah.
It's how you come across. If you come across as a dickhead, excuse the French, then you're not going to get followers.
Yeah.
If you come across as authentic, fun, and yourself, then it's just like meeting someone at face to face. You connect with them, follow.
Yeah. People can read through bullshit now too. Like 100%. That whole fake influencer stuff is gone now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's still there, but people can read through bullshit. Like they prefer you to be
just
real
be you
and make mistakes and have cellulite and have pimples and, not be good at things and all that sort of stuff.
Just,
like be real.
Yeah. Just be an individual. Like don't try and be someone you're not, because we'll see that straight away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like with my clients, I'm like, you have to be yourself. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Just do not give an F. Like if you want to do that, I'm backing you 100%, as long as you're not doing anything to harm yourself. Let's do it.
As long as you're not hurting anybody, and then you get to go, do whatever you want. Yeah.
If you have the weirdest hobby, then go and share it, because you're not the only person with that weird hobby. You just think you are.
Yeah.
Like there'll be someone out there that's like, oh, I was waiting for this video.
Oh, legit. You see it all the time. And sometimes that's what I love about TikTok is like you'll get fed something that's obviously trending and like, oh, let's see if he likes it. And I'm like, I didn't know I liked this, but I'm going to watch this 5-minute video on building Legos.
Yeah, it takes me buying Lego on Amazon.
Yeah. Or just random, I get the most randomest shit on my feed.
Yeah.
And then I'll interact with it and I'll get a bit more. I'm like, okay, I've done the subject now.
Yeah.
But like, there's always someone that likes your stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Or that's into it, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
You also do profile audits?
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah. What's like top 2 or 3 common profile mistakes? Like when you order people, it's the same thing that comes up.
Search engine, profile photo.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean by a search engine is if you're looking for a physio in the area, you type in keywords to find physio, physiotherapist, massage therapist, remedial therapy, whatever it might be. A lot of the times people's names is like _751.
Yeah.
Who is that? Like, even if you have your name on there, you still need to optimize your search engine. Who are you? So, like, I'm trying to think of what yours is, but if you're trying to find me, for example, the amount of keywords I have, you could type in Courtney, you could type in Taekwondo technician, Courtney Eardley, Taekwondo coach, Taekwondo athlete. Yeah. There's like 7 or 8 different ways.
I just typed in Courtney Eardley and then Eardley.
Yeah, and Taekwondo technician.
And then it was like Insta, TikTok, Insta, and then it was like the Taekwondo national statistics thing, and that's how I got your medals. Yeah. Oh no! And I was like, this is exactly what I need. Yeah. And then but the rest was all your content, like all your profiles.
The bio makeover is to optimize everything from like your search, all of it. Like if I rip them a new one.
Yeah, well, that's what
you
right?
need that.
Yeah,
okay, so
yeah.
when you then type in their name and their socials, it's just them. All their competitors have been wiped out. If you type in the hashtags Taekwondo technician, Taekwondo tech, Tigedi tech, anything like that, Taekwondo tutorial, like you'll see me over millions of other people. Like I've nailed that hashtag. Like you should have your own hashtag.
Yeah.
Like we should all have our own hashtags, like very specific. There's so many things that people just don't do, but it's just because they're not aware of it.
Well, that's right.
It's
Like
so simple.
you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
And then when you know it, you're like, God damn,
So
like,
obvious.
it's right in front of me. Yeah. They're my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
I love getting to know my clients, jumping on a call. Like I'll do you one. Like I would love to do that. So you can just kind of witness. You'll be like, whoa.
Yeah. I would have got you to do it beforehand, but I haven't set it all up yet. I've only just created all the accounts. This week.
That's fine. But once you're up and running, you can change it at any time. People have this fear that once you've changed it, it sticks. It's I used to be called Courtney Eardley YYYTKD. Like, who's that? Yeah, fair enough. I had TKD in the name, but it's taken me years to evolve into Taekwondo technician. And now,
name as well.
Yeah, people know me as that. So, yeah, I love that.
I don't know if you meant it in your message, but do you do, what are they called? Dating app audits, or are you joking?
So, no. So basically, like, your profile on Instagram, that is equivalent to your Instagram Tinder.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
is that what you meant? Yeah, okay, yeah.
I had a bio.
Because I was like, fuck yeah, that's cool. I want to hear about that.
Let's optimize my Tinder.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a course for that.
Funny. Yeah, but the same things apply. Yeah. Like, how do you optimize being a PT? There are certain things that you do that make you a better PT than a shit PT. How do you optimize your Tinder? You're not going to go and put pictures of you with your ex-girlfriend on there. You're not going to go and put, I love to drink on the weekends. Like, think of your Instagram. Like, I want to swipe right on your Instagram. That's clicking the follow button.
Yeah. You got to be interesting enough that they're like, oh, I'll follow this person.
What does this person do? Yeah. And a lot of the time in your bio, you don't explain that. People don't tell me what you do. Why do you do it? How to access your services. Like, if you've got a product, where do I find your product? What is it? Yeah. It's so simple, but it's just overwhelming for some people, and they don't understand where it should be on their bio, how to lay it out.
That's true, because we're so used to seeing like your big brand names and stuff that have it all there. Like, even in the gym, we've got Linktree, and then it has, if you have a sale or download the apps and
and someone's doing it for you. Imagine you're just an individual. You're like, what the hell is Linktree?
Actually,
yeah, for you, that's great. Someone in a bigger organization.
That's right. Yeah. And just knowing, like, if someone's clicking on your page, you've got to give them the option to look at all your goodies and stuff.
Yeah. What do you have to offer? What value am I going to get from following you? We're all greedy.
Yeah,
we're all goldfish. We've only got 10 seconds.
Yeah, we all think we're time poor.
And we're all greedy. We, like you say, we want stuff for free. So what can you offer?
Yeah, that's so true. Do you find it hard to keep up with social media in a sense that the algorithm's always evolving and that sort of stuff? Or do you think a lot of the stuff you do remains the same irrespective of the algorithms?
The algorithms definitely change, but the key tools that I would use do stay the same. Like, if you're adding value, it doesn't matter about the algorithm. Like, if I'm adding value to you and people are liking it, then you're going to get shared. You're going to get pushed to the explore page. If you're not optimizing your cover photo, for example, I'm not going to click into your video, whether the algorithm's the same or 2 years ago. Like, you've got to optimize everything. If you don't write a CTA in the captions, then I'm not going to engage. Yeah. It doesn't matter what the algorithm's doing or not. That's on you. And I think once you've nailed that niche, it's just keeping on top of things and being consistent. It's very easy to just be like, have a week off. But what I've learned is I spend less time on social media now than I did years ago, because I'm so good with my time management, how to film, how to edit. I can film.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought you meant doom scrolling. But you mean
working.
You mean working on it.
Yeah, I don't actually scroll that much, because think about when you're posting, you're like, I'm done with Instagram.
Yeah.
But in Bali, I would get on a bike and I could edit something from the day before on that 10-minute bike to training. Done. Yeah. So it's time management. And then I'm very present with the people that I'm with. Like, I will put my phone away. I'm not like that social media. It's like, oh, chicken. Yeah. I'm very much phone down. I'm with you. You've got my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think that's the key, is scheduling everything in? Like, say, for instance, with me coming up, I've got the gym socials, got the PT socials, And now I'll have, I used to have Casper socials, but I gave up on that.
You can wait.
And then obviously I'm going to have the memoirs socials, which is just, it's one of those things where I don't love social media, but you have to do it. Like it's people don't really Google anymore. People search you on Insta now or TikTok.
Like your resume.
Yeah. So it is so important. Like even for a podcast where most of the content will be Spotify listening as opposed to videos, you still need the videos to do on TikTok and Instagram to get people to know that you exist. Yeah.
You've got to be a face.
Yeah. And it's just scheduling. Like you go Monday, film all your content, Tuesday, edit it, and then post intermittently? Or like, do you have a different schedule? How do you do it?
The more organized you are in life, the more you're going to get done. So if I know I'm going to be at the gym and I've got a helping hand, I'll record X, Y, Z. Then if I've got an hour at home, I'll edit X, Y, Z. So I like to batch content. So I would go and film loads, and then if I'm sat down or during the week, I'll edit it all. And it goes into what I call a content empire, which I build with my clients. So you have like a piggy bank of content where you could fall ill, you could have an injury, and you could just go, that's fine. I'm going to pick out from the hat, pick out from that piggy bank. We're going to post. If you're trying to chase your tail, you're just going to burn out. That's like saying trying to film a reel a day is just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like now with this, like film as much as you can and just get as much small golden nuggets as you possibly can. You've probably got a month's worth of content.
Yeah, well that's why like we're now episode 8, but I haven't launched yet because I wanted to have 7 or 8 episodes in the bank.
Ready.
Because I've got other businesses to run. If it turns to shit, like if something bad happens to the gym, I've got to save the gym. So of course this goes on the back burner for a bit, but I've got the episodes recorded. I can be like, a new episode out this week, but I've already done the clips.
Dealing with stuff
it's in my own little Dropbox and like, what do you call it? Empire?
Yeah, so it's a content empire.
Yeah.
So you have content pillars. So personally, like a content pillar for you could be like PT, could be travel, gym, podcasts. So then you have like your pillars of content, but once you've filmed it, they go into your roof of that content empire. Then you pick out from the roof. Yeah. I'm a very visual person.
Yeah.
Like in my...
You should use the whiteboard behind you.
Don't. I'll draw one so you can put it on the thumbnail. But yeah, I love explaining it like that because it's so less overwhelming to people. People go, oh, what do I post? It's like, I'll give you 100. By the end of this hour, you'll have 100 content ideas that you've told me about.
And you can just go film them in one day.
Yeah.
Just take, and then edit it. Yeah.
Or if you know you're traveling, I'm like, cool, we work together. You can film these 20 whilst you're away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Just planning. I definitely noticed like when you don't know what you want to film, there's so much dawdling and fucking around. Like, what do we do? It's like if you have a tick sheet of film this, film that, film this, you just film it, next one, bang, next one, bang. And then you're done in an hour and you've got 20 different reels.
I'm going to the beach on Sunday. Cool. Come to the beach with me. That's Sunday's reel. You film Sunday's reel. Yeah. Like if you have an idea, be organized with it. If you need certain clips, then just write the certain clips that you need and just film them. It's not hard if you are organized.
Yeah. I mean, that's any job, isn't it?
Yeah. But people don't do it.
Yeah, true.
So.
And any other top tips you reckon for growing your brand? So you got your content empire, SEO optimization. Maybe what's one more? That's like a common error for people.
I would say it's more of a mindset thing. A lot of people come to me and they go, but why would people follow me? I'm not interested in, or there's 100 other PTs out there. Like, why is someone going to watch my videos? Sometimes we have this self-doubt and it's a really big limiting factor. There are so many other people that do martial arts, Taekwondo at a really good level, posting tutorials. That doesn't mean you can't grow and leverage from that. So it's a lot of my clients as well. Like I teach them a lot about mindset. If something happens, if they post, they go, oh, no one's watching it. I'm like, cool. I'm really excited about it. And they're like, well, that's weird. I'm like, no, that's great. Why? Let's look at it and understand why are people not watching it? Okay, when we understand that, we try something else. One of my clients went from a brand new account to 12,500 followers in 16 weeks.
That's good.
Like, it's just trial and error. Trust the process. When something clicks, you double down.
Yeah.
But she came to me. She's like, no one's watching. It's not working. I'm like, trust the process. One day you're going to wake up, and she did. She was like, I'm on 10,000 like views. That's now on like 9 million views now.
Yeah, yeah. What niche is she? What's her thing?
Mental health advocate.
Nice.
She posts quotes that people relate to. Her value is relating to people. Maybe it boosts their confidence that day, self-esteem that day. And one day she posted something that just clicked with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Boom. Now
that's all it takes.
And now she's got that platform to leverage from. That's all it takes. Once you go viral, if you're smart about it, then launch products, launch an ebook, launch a course, help more, add more value.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever that goal is.
Yeah, whatever your niche is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people use, I think I've said it on almost every episode, Mr. Beast is the perfect example of his videos for a whole year. I don't think got a single view, or they got like barely any views.
Yeah.
And then it just took one video to go viral. And then everybody went and watched all his back catalogue. And he was like, I just kept doing it because I like doing it.
Yeah.
And it's a similar concept, like consistency, fine tuning. Eventually, you'll just progressively get that snowball bigger, and just continues to snowball and snowball.
Consistency is massive. Like you could post. I could think of loads of things, but there's a guy that like does latte art, and he's terrible at it. But every day he goes, "Hey guys, I'm gonna practice this today." Still terrible at it. But you watch it because every day you're expecting him to turn up on Instagram, and you're like, "Whoop, let's see if he's better today."
Yeah, and one day he will.
Yeah, and one day you'll be like, the comments will blow up, and you've nailed it. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't matter what niche you're in. If you're consistent, if you did an outfit check every day for like a month, I'm telling you right now, like you'll see growth.
What's that? I don't know if you know this.
There's that dude
Pookie, and like they do. There's a guy and a woman, and I think they're quite affluent, and they do outfit checks. And it's if you haven't,
maybe not, but
he's like, I'm here with my outfit with Pookie, but like because they're rich, it's like all designer shit, but they're so like.
Yeah, they'll
not
just
flaunting it. They're just, and he's like the way he talks about her, and everyone's like in love with them and stuff.
Yeah, but they'll be they're just leveraging a social media platform.
Yeah.
They probably do, what they would have done is every day they'd be like, hey babe, do you think this looks good? All they do now is put a camera in front of them, and they're like, okay, so this is making me money, but babe, what do you think?
Yeah, and because they obviously have money, they have nice outfits.
Yeah,
and
that's
so the
their
women
niche.
are like, oh wow, like that's a cool dress. Yeah.
So if they were to leverage from that even further, they could affiliate with like the clothes that they're wearing. They're getting sent those clothes. They're making money from those clothes. Like,
the possibilities
just
are endless.
If I could give you a piece of advice, like anyone, just go and try something for 30 days, very consistency, whether that's going to the gym for 30 days, posting a reel for 30 days, a picture for 30 days, you'll see growth. But people don't stick at it for 30 days. That's the problem.
They do 14 days and they go, oh, no one's watching.
It's not working. Yeah.
The same as, I can't remember the exact statistic, but do you know the podcast Chris Williamson, the English lad?
No.
Anyway, he was talking about if you do more than 20 episodes, you're already in the top 5% of podcasters.
That's crazy.
Because no one makes it past, because they do 5 and they go, oh, whatever. And then if you get past 20... it's like if you're another 20 after that, you're in the top 5% of the top 5%. Yeah. And it's like, all you got to do is just make 20 episodes and you're already in the top 5%.
Yeah, just do
it.
It's
consistency.
Yeah.
But people, want things quick.
Yeah, quick fix.
And they like do 10 episodes and like, oh, I've only had 5 views and that's all my family, and they sort of give up.
Yeah. And that's the same as like any successful business owner. Like it's the business owner that has made multiple mistakes, got back on the horse and kept going.
Yeah.
Now they're fucking rich and living their best life.
Yeah.
But you don't see that.
Yeah, no one hears about
People
how they went bankrupt.
Go, you went from that to that.
Yeah. A lot of the big guys have heaps of companies that failed first.
Yeah, and you go down a path where you think you're going like this, but then the path actually goes like that and then back.
Yeah. Or a whole new path over here, but still up.
Yeah. There's an analogy I use. It's your car doesn't have brakes. So with my clients, I'm like, our car, as soon as we put our foot on the gas, you can't brake. You get to a T-junction, you have to turn left or right straight away. I don't care which direction you pick, we're going down it. It could loop back to the same path. but we're not braking. As soon as you put your foot on the brake, that's when you fail.
Yeah, just kicking all the doors down, see what happens.
Just keep, you don't know what's behind that next door. You don't know what's going to be down this road. You might not like it, which is great because it takes you down this road. Just don't stop.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes you do stuff just to learn that you don't like it. And then you can cross that off your list. And then you go, okay, I guess this isn't my content. My content might be over here now. Or whatever.
So many of my clients go, I don't like that. I don't want to film that. I don't enjoy that. I'm like, cool. What do you enjoy? Then go and film it. That's easier to be consistent if you enjoy something.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if you're going to the gym anyways and you love it, then stick a tripod up and record your sessions. If you like drawing, then just record yourself drawing.
Yeah, actually there's been a few wicked TikToks of people doing their time lapse of their drawing, and I'm like, fuck, that is insane. Because seeing it get done, there's something more credible about watching you actually draw it, and then as opposed to just seeing the finished product. I think I don't know, for me it is anyway, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, you can see them actually trusting the process of painting that picture and stuff.
Because it's a journey. It's a journey. It doesn't matter, like if I went from a white belt and I skipped all of the other belts to black belt, there'd be no trust. You know what I mean? But people have followed me for years and they've seen me grow and they've gone, wow, she's determined. Like she's put hard work into that. So I think that's, you see the hard work going into that drawing. It's not like someone's just gifted and they've just gone poof.
Yeah.
That's like 20 hours and you're like, wow, damn, like hats off to you.
That's what it is, isn't it? You've seen the hard work.
You're like, and you're like, you come from sports as well, like being an athlete and training. It's like, people don't go from like fat to thin with just a pill. Like, it's a lot of hard work and commitment and dedication when you don't feel like it. That's what I love. When
you've been through something, you appreciate it more.
Yeah, you can relate to it.
Like especially when people watch sport that like have never played and they're like, oh, how could you do that? I'm like, oh, you don't get it.
Honestly.
Like, you don't get how hard it is to get there and the sacrifice. Like, they're crying because they go, oh, you cried because you lost a game. I'm like, oh, you don't get it.
Yeah, you can't even run for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They've been running for 90.
Or 19 years just to get to that grand final and then they lost and then whatever, right? Yeah. All right. You are hosting some seminars later. Are we talking about that?
Yeah, you can talk about that.
Hosting some seminars later in the year in the US and then maybe other places, or?
Yes. So I'm going to be in the US in September. I will be going to Toronto.
Cool.
Maybe hosting a seminar there, but I will be hosting a seminar in New Jersey/New York. It's just across the bridge. 14th of September. And then in Miami, I'll be hosting a seminar on the 21st of September. And then from there, I'll probably be going west. So I'll be going to like California, probably do LA. So, yeah.
So what are the seminars? Run me through it.
One of them is very much heavily Taekwondo related. We'll be focusing on flexibility, leg control, manipulating your opponent, disguising your kicks, which is really important. And the one in New Jersey, which is more, we are focusing on the same things, but I'm going to implement it in a way that will actually benefit a lot more MMA fighters. So it doesn't matter what discipline you come from, whether you're Muay Thai, MMA, even if you do jiu-jitsu, look like more than welcome to come to that. And it is just leveling up. It's learning a new skill. It's not going to make you worse as a fighter. So it's literally
adding to that arsenal like you spoke about.
Yeah, adding to
your weapon. So it's obviously a practical workshop.
Yeah, 100% straight in there. Like we'll obviously have a bit of an intro, but 2 hours we'll just get straight onto the mats, warm-ups, get straight into some technical, maybe a bit of sparring at the end. It's going to be really, really good.
Is that with you?
Yeah.
Or is there a bunch of other coaches or just like your thing?
That's just me.
Taekwondo technician.
Technician, we're going straight in.
Who helped you settle that up? Like how did you learn about like, because it's in a whole other country, right? Like setting up in Australia, obviously still difficult, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But a lot easier. It's your country, you know.
Oh, you can go visit people and check out the locations.
Exactly. So is it all just you? Do you have someone helping you? Like, oh, this would be a good hall, like a judo gym, or this would be a good place, or you just all learning and Googling and...
From Bangtao Muay Thai MMA, you meet a lot of people, a lot of fighters, okay? So I actually met some really, really amazing individuals that own gyms out there, and they come from a Taekwondo background. So as soon as they met me, we trained a little bit out there. We just messed around with some pads, and they were like, you should come and teach at my gym. I was like, okay, cool. Where is it? They were like, the US. So me being me, I was like, right, let's got to be smart about this.
Yeah.
That's a very expensive trip. So I have now looked at all of the places that I would love to coach at, because I know a lot of club owners. So if I can work my way around the US and teach my seminar, then I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
There's no point flying so far to do one seminar. Hence why...
Do a tour.
Yeah.
Same as comedians. They all do a tour. They don't just come here for one show.
Yeah, that would be so expensive.
Yeah.
It's not worth it for them. And also I want to... If I'm in the area, my Instagram will blow up and people will be like, you didn't come to my club. And it's like, well, now you know where I'm going to be. Like if you're in the area, then you need to secure your spot, because there will be limited spots for some of the events.
Yeah. Have you got all that content ready, or is that building up to it now?
So it will be building up to it. So I'm getting posters done up, seminar posters. We'll have a videographer there on the day. So it will be, I've coached a lot of clubs, but it's never been like a seminar, like a tour of a different country.
Yeah.
So it's very new, and it's something that I want to document and
of course.
Get that on the YouTube as well. So I will document my travels, as well as when I'm in certain locations, I'm collaborating with really high level athletes as well, whether that's MMA, Muay Thai. There's some stunt guys out there as well that I'm going to be working with. Yes, so much fun. Some exciting things, but it's so new, but I'm so excited. Like I'm not nervous at all.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
It gives me the vibes of do you remember when Joe Pitt did like his legacy tours, and it was
it
gives me those vibes. Where it's like a Taekwondo
just
tour,
kicking around the world.
Collabing with all those other guys would be great.
I've got such a long list of people.
And then even having your videographer and photographer there for the seminar. I know when I was doing bodybuilding stuff and went to workshops, I loved it when there was a photographer there.
Yeah.
Because then you get videos and photos of you like practicing your craft, and then they go and share it, and then they so it's cool to come away with that sort of stuff, like, oh, I learned from Courtney this, or I saw George St. Pierre, or like whatever it is.
Getting pictures, that's a memory you have forever. Like you'll remember it, but having a photo, it brings back more memories. One for me, it's my first ever like tour of, I've been to America, but just haven't done that.
It's not a work tour. You haven't done a work tour, which is exciting.
Work and play. Look.
Yeah. Balance. Are you nervous? Are you excited? What emotion is highest right now?
Just so much excitement.
Yeah.
Like you just grow as a person. Like when I used to travel, I'd be really, really organized to the point where I'd have to have my flight booked just in case. But now I'm like, I might go there and I know there's going to be so many opportunities that I don't actually want to have my return flight booked.
Yeah, cool.
Because
you haven't yet?
No, what if I get there and someone goes, oh, can you come to like Florida? Can you come here? And I'm like, yeah,
I got time.
Let's do it. Let's talk. Let's have a chat. Let's have a coffee.
Yeah.
I'm so excited because I just know the people I'm meeting as well. Like I'm going to learn so much from them. I'm so grateful that they're actually like have time for me. It's weird because you have this relationship. It's like just an internet relationship.
Yeah.
And then when you meet them, you're like, wow, you're real. Like, You're
Hello,
a superstar.
Hello, pen pal.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of these people are incredible. So just to be able to even go into their gym, I'm so grateful.
That's exciting.
Yeah, super.
Do you reckon
exciting.
you'd ever do, depending on how this goes, because you could do a UK one.
Oh yeah,
because you know every man's dog there.
Yeah, little whispers between. Definitely be in Australia doing a couple with a really, really good friend of mine, Olympic medalist.
Yeah,
but that's still being discussed.
It takes a lot of planning. Yeah, like background stuff.
Yeah, but that will be we want to tour all around the world, and we want to target UFC as well. So like, we want to go in to see these athletes, UFC fighters, because the guys that can kick in the UFC, as you've seen, they just have that edge to them. Like the other opponent is weary of their legs. Like a lot of them can't get their leg above their shoulder. You could go for a KO knockout kick. It's safe to do so. Like you just have to know how to do it.
Yeah, some of the guys that can kick,
they're
such
weapons.
an advantage. I watched one, I think it was the Kiwi guy, and he I think he stepped in for his brother. I forget their names. And he broke his leg because the opponent, he was blocking it, but his kicks were so monster.
Powerful.
I think it was like the 4th or 5th round. You're like, his leg's broken.
His ankles.
He can barely stand on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
Because then it's also, you got the reach advantage.
Yeah.
Because you can't get close to punch them because their legs are way longer. And they're just kicking you.
And the speed. Like, a lot of them have a lot of power behind them, but if you can have speed and power, then you are deadly. A lot of the guys that come from karate, kickboxing, like Adesanya, like they do typically stand further back, which makes them dangerous. Yeah. You then have to get into their distance.
And then you're in the striking range.
And they're like, perfect, I've been waiting for you to do this. I just feel like you'd have the upper hand because then when you get in close, then you rely on your hands. And then maybe if you need to get even closer, then wrestling and yeah. Like back kicks. Like when you see someone land a back kick, everyone's like, whoa.
Is that the spinning?
Spinning back
with
kick.
The heel to the
spinning hook kick. They're knockout kicks if you land
amazing.
them. People that drop like sacks.
We got all that momentum.
Yeah. So I would love to meet some more UFC fighters and just teach them what I know.
Sick. That sounds exciting.
Yeah. Shooting for the stars. That's all
why
I'm
not?
saying. Yeah, why
There's
not?
No point shooting for the dirt.
Yeah. So Joe Rogan, Dana White, let's go.
It's so funny how we were talking then about like UFC kicks, and I was like, Joe Rogan would be pretty cool to talk to about fighting.
Yeah. I'm like, if you're watching this, I would love.
You need to go to Texas. That's where he is.
Yeah.
Do a seminar in Texas.
Yeah. Anyone interested?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're into our final 3, which is the same questions I ask for everybody. Mm-hmm. So the first one is, what's a piece of advice that you've been given in life, anything, not just Taekwondo, that's really stuck with you?
Oh, gosh. Probably number 1 would just to be yourself. I think no matter what you do in life, don't try and be someone you're not. It's not sustainable. It won't make you happy. And I think the moment you allow yourself to truly be yourself, you want to be weird and goofy and funny and be that awkward person or embarrassing person on the dance floor, that's when you truly know you're happy. Like that's when you feel,
liberated.
It's just a different feeling. Like it really is. Like a lot of people hold themselves back because they're scared of what other people think. I'm at the point where I'm like, if you don't like me, then I don't want you in my life.
Yeah, I'm like that.
And it's not cutthroat, as in people think it's rude to cut someone off. I'm like, our goals just don't align. Yeah. And you should have people in your life that fill your cup. Once your cup is full, you'll be so surprised at how much you fill other people's cups. That would be mine. It's just be yourself. Be unapologetically you.
Yeah, nice. Agreed. What's a book or podcast or some sort of content that you've consumed recently or ages ago that you think people have to read or listen to?
Tough one. Alex Hormozi has 2 books called The $100 Million Leads and $100 Million Offers. Those books are absolutely amazing. Like I took so much from that and I learned so much from that and I implement that in my sales. Another one is Noah Kagan, I think it's called the $1 Million Weekend. Oh, yes.
What a guest host.
Hello. Hi. And I really love the way that he includes challenges. So within his book, and he teaches you things, he will also challenge you to go out of your comfort zone and go and do these challenges. So he sent me $1 because one of his challenges is to go and ask for $1 to start your business.
Yeah.
Go and ask a random person.
And you DM'd him?
I DM'd him and I said, hey, Noah, I'm starting a business. May I have a contribution of $1? And I literally have a screenshot of Noah Kagan sending me $1. Nice. But something like Taco something has sent you $1, and that's Noah.
That's cool.
So I like that. Really, you actually implement what you read. A lot of people just read and then do nothing with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Last one. We sort of touched on it. There could be other things. What's next on Courtney's vision board?
Oh, I am going to Paris to stunt school.
Fuck yeah. How cool.
Yep, in July, if all goes well, hopefully I'll be doing 2 weeks of a stunt course. And I don't know, I've always had this, like, imagine being sat in a movie and watching yourself play some action role.
Yeah, because no one really knows it's you because it's all disguised so well, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of self-doubt because my memory wasn't great when I was doing Taekwondo. So I was like, oh, maybe I can't learn a script, but I would love to play my own character, like Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
or like
I understand what you're saying.
Being an actress.
Like a fighting movie where it's
Mortal Kombat. I'm trying to think of some other ones that are like really sick.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. Yeah, exactly. All of the, it doesn't even matter. Like, look at Wonder Woman. She's not going to be doing backflips and flying sidekicks in the fight scene. It's like, no way. Like, she's got a nice, pretty face. There's no way. But
unless you're Tom Cruise. Like, they're all
there are certain people. Is it Kanye? What's his name? No. John Wick.
Oh, yeah. Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does his own.
Insane.
Yeah.
Like, so good.
And they reckon when he was doing all the training that he was like a natural. They couldn't believe how good he was at all the gun stuff.
But watching his movies as a fighter, I'm like, that was a sick combo. Whereas sometimes you're like, oh God,
it's so wanky.
That is so embarrassing. Like, you would never, it's like, you just wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, why Paris? Is that where the best school is? Or is that other schools here? Like what's
there are definitely, the schools in the Gold Coast. So I could definitely have done one here, but I'm just going back to visit mum and dad.
Oh, cool.
And my brother's there, my nan is there. And turns out on these dates, I was invited to stunt school. So I'm like, the stars are aligning. Like, you've just got to take these opportunities. What's the worst that could happen?
Like you said, no breaks, right? Just
go for it.
Yeah. Worst thing is you learn a new skill. That's the worst thing that could happen.
Or you learn you don't like something, which is really helpful in life.
Yeah, because now you know. Like, there's no more what ifs. You've just ticked it off.
Yeah, there's no more like, oh my God, like regret this and regret. It's like, no, you've just done it. And I know I'm going to like it. Like, throwing yourself in front of a car,
as well.
setting yourself on fire. Yeah, it's so much. To me, that's fun.
Have you looked into how difficult it is to like be a stunt double? Or just right now you're like, I just want to do the course?
I know a lot of people in the industry. A lot of them I'll be collaborating with. But I've definitely heard it's quite like, what's the word? Like, not everyone wants you to do well. It's very cutthroat. It's
because they want it for themselves.
Yeah, if you think about one person needs a stunt double, you've probably got 100 people trying to apply for that one role. Yeah. If you know, it's definitely who you know, not what you know. Yeah. You could get in the door very easily at a young age, or you might not. Yeah.
And I guess it's even trickier because you need to find someone that has the same body as you. Like, you can't stunt double for me.
Yeah, no.
So automatically, like, you have to find people with the same build, the same height. Hair, you can wig and stuff, but like...
Yeah, a lot of hair, makeup, but I think one thing that does work in my favor is I am a female and I do martial arts to such a high level that fight scenes, you don't have to train me up
They're easy for you.
too much.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very different, don't get me wrong. Fighting versus fight scenes, very over-exaggerated. Like, it's actually hard work. I did some of it before. But I know how my body moves in a fight, so it's very natural for me to do that. Whereas for some people, like if I said to you, go and do a fight scene, you'd be like, oh, God, like, what combination should I do? That you'd just be like straight to. Yeah. Whereas...
They'll 1-2 jab.
Yeah. And coming from I used to do patterns and for gradings, you learn sequences and like, I know like 20 patterns. So going in front of a camera and knowing that you've got to do 20 moves before you cut, like that's
easy for you.
It's easier for me than it would be someone else. So I feel, but there's no pressure. I'm going in for fun.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the thing. I'm not going in there to be the next Wonder Woman. Like it's just
another tool in your
why
belt.
Not?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have a bit of fun. It's 2 weeks in Paris.
Oh no.
Oh shame.
Oh no.
Ah. Oh, bonjour.
That's it. Thank you so much for sharing your story. It's been fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a while.
Yeah. I wish you all the best for your seminars.
Thank you.
And you have to tell me if you're going to fight. I want to come have some drinks and watch you fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially
No,
if it's
I will
MMA.
do. Oh, if I fight, the whole world will probably know about
Yeah,
it.
if you should, yeah.
Yeah, and if it's in Australia, then maybe we can do another podcast beforehand.
Yeah, before and after. Like, this is me, Courtney, before my fight.
Breaking myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely keep you updated.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And good luck.
Thanks.